Riverton High School.
Riverton High School, and they have a really good welding program.
Right. So it's kind of like the Mormon churches to the high schools here. It's adjacent but correlated. It's not on the property, but it's on the other side of the parking lot. It's J-Tech. And they have diesel, they have cooking, they have, somebody was saying something else, can't remember, welding, all sorts. But it's a whole thing that the governor is trying to implement to get kids to think more trade-like and less, endless student debt, and you have nothing at the end.
The trades are struggling to get filled right now.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to work.
Well, and what's wild about that is it's been proven over and over again. Vast majority outside, if you take doctors and lawyers and like actual degrees that need pieces of paper, okay, or actual jobs that need pieces of paper, rather, the trade schools actually make more money, and it's kind of been a lost thing, and they are struggling with numbers these days. And I know they're doing, because we had a Hank on here in his high school. They're doing the same thing. So is that something the governor's trying to put together?
I guess, and I didn't know this. I kind of thought it was a nationwide thing, but after talking to the teacher, it's huge in Utah. And I knew it I never applied to any of them. I didn't really know about it in high school, but I knew all sorts of kids that were a part of it, and but it's huge in Utah, and they're really pushing it, and they're opening up new programs for even nursing, stuff like that.
That's awesome. These
kids can leave high school with certificates. And I'll tell you, these kids coming out of this, now I think this guy's a little special over there at Riverton. He's got, he's doing more of a job than they're paying him for, type of thing. Sure. He really wants them to succeed and whatnot. But these kids coming out of these high school programs are very proficient welders, really proficient. He's teaching them all 5 processes.
Are you getting employees from?
I am.
Awesome.
So I'm getting my teeth cleaned one day by a gal who, now I've had the same dental hygienist for 5 years. Nicest lady in the world. All of a sudden, she called in sick one day, so they called this other gal in, and I'm talking to her. I'm telling her I'm a welder and this and that. She said, "Oh, my kid just is about to graduate over at Riverton, and you think he could tinker around with you on the weekends or something? You teach him something?" He shows up. I'm thinking I'm going to teach this kid how to weld. He knows exactly how to weld. I said, "Well, why don't we pay you and we can build some stuff, And then he's like, "I have friends, And all of a sudden, he introduced me to his teacher, and his teacher,
shake your hand.
Yeah, he comes out and he's like, "Can we start getting these kids, when they graduate, because they graduate twice a year out of the program?" He says, "I want to get them in here, maybe not. This isn't a career, but this is a starting block for them at least."
Jumping off point.
Yeah. And it's been great. I mean, they have lots of energy, and that's really all I need,
Heck yeah.
And
they can run a sander.
Yeah, exactly. But, I didn't know what to expect. I thought, again, I was going to teach him how to weld, but he's doing such a damn good... I'd imagine you go to these trade schools, because I'm self-taught. I've never taken a welding class, nothing like that. I just welded and figured it out.
And Mike.
But, I don't really even know what it looks like when you come out of trade school.
Right.
But these kids are every bit as proficient to start a career. They could go into a career when they're done. So it's pretty neat.
That is a great program.
Mm-hmm.
And it's valuable. We need it. All the job market, welders, they're needed all over the place. And to give them a start in something like this, where they're also excited about what you're doing, you're younger, you got it's something that they really aspire to, and they're coming out, and then hopefully it works as a springboard to something else for them.
Sure.
Well, and on that topic, I don't know about, because there's a diesel program and cooking and stuff, I don't know about those, but there's actually a National Welders Society, and they're backing the Utah welders, these programs, these J-Tech programs. And so these kids can apply, and they can get upwards of $100,000 grant to start their own welding business.
No kidding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, it's a loan, but they only have to pay back half of it.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, this, the national, I'm saying that wrong, it's an association. Every welder's a part of it, even I'm part of it. You pay $20 a month to it, but that proceed goes to things like this. It's really neat, because the two kids I got working for me right now, they actually want to get into roll cages and off-road chassis
Power
and stuff
sports?
like that.
That's awesome.
You know, and but they're, I think I like to think I'm teaching them a thing or two about the business side of things, and they got to be fast at it and really break the numbers down,
And what your plan is I know you have one, if you want to give a shout out to him, but you've got one that you think can be kind of groomed for this, but then your plan for the other one is to give more of an opportunity for kids coming out, and it'll be kind of a short-lived thing, and then you see them off to their next phase, right?
That's kind of the idea of the Riverton, because these kids, they'll go on to other things, You can only weld railing so long, especially if you want to weld other things. But these kids definitely want to start their own business, and they can use that grant up to 5 years. They can apply for it after they graduate. And so that's their plan. But his mom's got a really good head on her, and she wants him. She said, no, stay with him for a couple years, learn it, stop being so damn young. But once they're done, the Riverton High School wants to just basically filter these guys in, maybe on a 6-month period as they graduate, and just give them some life experience. Hell,
That's great.
Even if they don't become welders, they can
show up to a job and go to work and
show them some responsibility. And
That's great for you as well, because these kids probably get burnt out of building hand railings, like you're saying, in 6 months.
Oh, absolutely.
You can filter the next guy in, and he's
it's
gung-ho and ready to...
It's not glamorous by any stretch, but it is what it is. And
that is cool.
And they're getting paid more than flipping burgers,
Yes.
Yeah.
And they seem to enjoy it.
Well, it's...
to your
the
point,
sense
the
of
experience,
pride.
right?
Yeah.
The pride, I think
the
that's
sense
a
of
good
pride, accomplishment when you actually build something as opposed to working at the drive-thru.
Exactly.
And I really think that that's something that's been lost on recent times. As somebody formerly, that everything I did was with my hands, and you switch over to a computer. I know you're building stuff and whatnot on the computer. There is a certain satisfaction that comes with doing something and
You step
seeing
back.
something and
Yes.
look at it, and it's a whole different level
Yes.
of accomplishment.
And you have something to show for what you've done. And
You know every flaw,
Yeah.
but it still looks pretty badass.
Yeah.
I think a lot of kids don't know that feeling.
Yeah.
Especially today, when everything that they're doing is done on the computer.
And something when you're building
phone.
something, you're screwing up every 20 minutes. And, you kind of get in adversity. You don't get mad about it. It's just something that happens. How are we going to fix this?
Right.
We put that pipe somewhere wrong,
Yep.
But you learn that adversity. And
Being
you
able to
learn.
adjust on the fly as well.
And not let it overtake you,
Right.
either.
Adapt and overcome.
If you'd like that clip and would like to watch another one, click right here. If you'd like to watch the whole video, click right here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.